Christmas Eve was supposed to feel magical, but for Sarah, it felt heavy. The cold wind cut through her thin coat as she held her twin boys' hands, guiding them toward a small diner glowing with warm yellow lights. In her pocket was exactly $20, every dollar she had after rent and medicine. She had promised the boys dinner out, just once, so they wouldn't feel different from other kids on Christmas. The twins, Noah and Liam, were only 7. They didn't ask for toys or presents. They just wanted fries and milkshakes. Their excitement both warmed and broke Sarah's heart. She smiled for them, hiding the knot in her chest. Inside, the diner buzzed with laughter, families, and Christmas music. Sarah hesitated before entering, already calculating prices in her head. She whispered to the boys, "We'll share, okay?" They nodded happily. She chose a corner booth, far from attention. She didn't want pity. She didn't want judgment. She just wanted one peaceful meal. As they sat down, Sarah noticed a man at the counter, leather jacket, heavy boots, tattoos climbing his neck. A Hell's Angel. People subtly leaned away from him. Sarah instinctively tensed. She pulled the boys closer, not out of fear, but habit. Life had taught her to be cautious. She never imagined that this stranger would soon change their Christmas forever. When the waitress arrived, Sarah ordered with painful precision. 1 basket of fries. 3 waters. 1 kid's meal to share. She smiled apologetically, already embarrassed. The twins didn't complain. They squeezed ketchup onto the fries like it was a feast. Sarah watched them eat, pretending she wasn't hungry. She had skipped meals before, this wasn't new. What hurt was pretending everything was okay. She kept glancing at the menu, whispering math under her breath. Tax. Tip. Please don't go over. Her fingers tightened around her purse. Across the diner, the Hell's Angel noticed her. Not the way people usually notice bikers, but quietly, observantly. He saw how she didn't eat. How she pushed food toward the boys. How she smiled even when her eyes looked tired. The twins laughed loudly at something silly, and a few customers frowned. Sarah immediately hushed them, apologizing even when no one complained. When the food was almost gone, Sarah flagged the waitress. "Can I get the check, please?" Her voice shook slightly. The waitress nodded, but before she could leave, the biker stood up. The diner went silent. People stiffened. Someone whispered, "Oh no." Sarah's heart raced. She pulled the boys closer again. The biker slowly walked toward their table. The Hell's Angel stopped beside their booth. Up close, he looked even more intimidating. Broad shoulders, scar on his cheek, eyes that had clearly seen too much life. "You mind if I sit?" he asked. Sarah swallowed. Every instinct screamed danger, but something in his tone wasn't threatening. It was calm. Respectful. Okay, she said softly. He sat down carefully, making sure not to crowd the boys. "You've got good kids," he said, nodding at the twins. "Thank you," Sarah replied cautiously. He looked at the empty plates. "They eat well." "They're growing," she said, forcing a smile. There was a pause. Then he spoke quietly. "I grew up like this. Counting dollars. Pretending you're full." Sarah's eyes widened slightly. "My mom did the same thing," he continued. Christmas was hard. The diner felt frozen in time. He reached into his jacket slowly. Sarah tensed, but instead of anything dangerous, he pulled out a folded photograph. It showed him as a little boy, sitting on a motorcycle beside a woman with tired eyes and a big smile. "She taught me one thing," he said. "Never forget where you came from." Then he stood up. People watched, confused. No one expected what came next. The Hell's Angel walked to the counter and spoke quietly to the waitress. She nodded, eyes widening. Then she smiled. Moments later, she returned to Sarah's table, not with a bill, but with plates. Hot meals. Desserts. Milkshakes. Even small wrapped gifts for the boys. Sarah stood up in shock. I didn't order this, I can't. The biker shook his head. It's paid for. All of it. But her voice cracked. He placed cash on the table. More than she had seen in months. For groceries. For Christmas morning. Tears streamed down Sarah's face. Why? She whispered. He knelt slightly so he was eye level with the boys. Because someone once did this for me. The twins hugged him without fear. The diner erupted into quiet applause. Some people cried. Others looked ashamed for judging him earlier. He stood up, nodded once, and walked toward the door. Wait, Sarah called. He turned. Merry Christmas, she said, through tears. He smiled gently. You too, Mom. That night, Sarah tucked her boys into bed in their small apartment. The fridge was full for the first time in months. The gifts sat neatly under a tiny tree. The twins talked excitedly about the biker angel. Sarah sat alone for a moment, holding the cash, still in disbelief. Not just because of the money, but because someone had seen her. Not as poor. Not as weak. But as a mother doing her best. She whispered a prayer of gratitude she hadn't said in years. Weeks later, Sarah began volunteering at the same diner, helping other struggling families. Kindness had changed her, and she wanted to pass it on. Somewhere on a highway, a Hell's Angel rode on, unaware that one Christmas Eve dinner had started a chain of hope. Because sometimes, angels don't have wings. They ride motorcycles.